Police storm a quiet home shouting, "We're here to arrest the sorcerer hiding inside." The terrified family shouts, "We're normal people, there is no sorcerer here." But the officer replies, "He's not part of your family, but he lives among you." Everyone froze. How was this possible? How could an ordinary family be harboring a sorcerer without knowing? They barged in, straight to one room, and dragged out a man in cuffs, one of the most dangerous sorcerers in the country. But what they found with him was worse. Talismans, terrifying books of dark magic, and pages of sinister incantations artifacts that seemed to hold secrets capable of shattering anyone's mind. But this wasn't the end, because the real monster was his brother, still free, still hiding, and the things he can do shouldn't exist in this world. Our story begins with Ahmed Massoud, the dangerous sorcerer who terrified police and eluded them for ages, leaving them powerless against his abilities. Despite relentless efforts, they only managed to catch him after a massive struggle. When they finally arrested him, they discovered he was carrying huge amounts of talismans, magical scrolls, and books filled with the secrets of black magic, the entire toolkit of the dark world he inhabited. But the real shock wasn't the magic he carried, it was something bigger. The police weren't just after Ahmed. They were desperately pursuing his brother, Ibrahim, who was leagues more dangerous. 9 months of constant pursuit had passed. Yet, the moment they got close to catching Ibrahim, he'd vanished like smoke, leaving no trace. During Ahmed's interrogation, he confessed to horrifying acts that stunned everyone. It started with his own family. He admitted casting spells on his cousins. The first victim was Khalid, who developed kidney failure due to Ahmed's magic. Even worse, Khalid's brother had actually donated a kidney to save him, but the dark magic proved stronger, causing the new kidney to fail too incredibly fast. From there, the family's fate spiraled terrifyingly. Some died in bizarre accidents, others took their own lives without explanations, and the rest were headed towards the same grim end. The family was utterly destroyed, some by suicide, others driven mad. Then came the Barghouti family, distant relatives of Ahmed who were immensely wealthy. Despite the family ties, Ahmed seethed with resentment over their extravagant lifestyle, especially their perceived arrogance. He decided an unusual revenge, using poverty magic to turn their lives into unbearable hell. The family was hit by a relentless wave of strange misfortunes, disasters, and constant failure. Every time they tried to hold on to what little they had left, their problems worsened, sinking them deeper into poverty and misery. But Ahmed's dark work didn't stop there. A young woman came to him, complaining of a strange affliction caused by magic. Ahmed told her she was possessed by a lovesick Djinn. Instead of helping her though, he chose to deepen her suffering, turning the Djinn that possessed her into something far more potent and evil. Essentially, he replaced the incantations affecting her with something much darker and stronger to control her. He'd ease her torment just slightly, only to intensify it again, until she completely lost control of herself in the end. The young woman couldn't bear the pain, the psychological pressure, or the terrifying things happening to her. She succumbed and died under the influence of black magic unleashed upon her. But the story didn't end here. It gets even more terrifying. Ahmed wasn't content with just ruining the lives of those who dare deal with him. He left behind an inexplicable trial of horror. One day, another man came to Ahmed, believing him to be a spiritual healer who used the Quran. The man was struggling with his wife and daughter, whose health was deteriorating unnaturally. Looking for easy fix, he turned to Ahmed for help. True to form, Ahmed wasn't honest. He used spells of obedience and arousal on the wife and daughter, sending a weakened servant of the bunch he owned to give them some temporary relief. When the father noticed a slight improvement, he asked for more sessions and protective charms. But this was just the beginning of the coming disaster. A moment of suspicion finally made the father see through the ruse, and he started distancing himself from Ahmed. But the decision came too late. The family was already damaged. The horror deepened when another family sought out Ahmed, a family who knew him very well and lived nearby. They figured there was no harm in consulting him. After all, as we mentioned, he presented himself as a Quranic healer, someone who loved goodness and helped people. What happened next was truly horrifying. They began facing bizarre problems. Their car suddenly caught fire. The girl suffered extreme hallucinations and hysteria. And the wife started arguing strangely with her husband. Stranger still, their children began seeing a small child playing with them in the house. But this child wasn't human looking. It was like some kind of monster. As days passed, the magic Ahmed woven into their home became clear. The children started behaving unnaturally. The stepmother noticed it first and told her husband, "They are Djinn." She was calling her own children Djinn. Everything was turning into a nightmare. Events escalated terrifyingly, revealing the destructive residue of Ahmed's magic everywhere. One night, the wife came rushing to her husband in a panic, screaming at the top of her lungs, "Quick, there is a gula in the courtyard." Her husband discovered it was actually their eldest daughter standing in the spot she described, but she looked strange with a terrifying stare. Yet, this was only the beginning. If these events shocked you, wait for what comes next. Back in the interrogation room, Ahmed's confession exploded like a bomb, unleashing a flood of dark secrets that shook everyone. It wasn't just a reveal about Ibrahim's hiding place. It was the start of exposing their horrifying truth. And before we continue, note this. Ahmed himself hadn't known where his vanished brother was. He'd performed dark rituals just to locate him. The investigators wondered, had that family been hiding Ibrahim all these months? But the answer that emerged was more terrifying than anyone could imagine. It turned out Ibrahim wasn't merely hidden. He had been living among them the entire time, moving freely inside their house, without anyone sensing his presence. It was as if he were a ghost slipping through the walls. When police stormed the house based on Ahmed's information, the family couldn't believe what they were hearing. Despite their shock, they went to the specified spot and found Ibrahim performing dark rituals. No one knew if he was trying to escape or planning something even more dangerous. Ibrahim spoke calmly, as if discussing the mundane. "I entered here through your daughter. I sent a Djinn upon her." The shock was immense. But what he said next froze the blood in everyone's veins. "The Djinn I sent made her constantly need me. It lived among you the whole time, watching you, controlling every detail of your lives as if you were puppets." But that wasn't all. Ibrahim revealed his evil talismans, written with his demonic hands. He stated, "I bewitched you all. Obedience spells, tongue-tying spells, love spells. I meddled in your entire existence. I placed the talismans on 5 nails, hidden in different parts of your house. I sealed your doors shut. I made you prisoners inside your own home." These confessions were so terrifying that some began to wonder how anyone had survived this ordeal at all. Ibrahim added, "Those doors you thought were inscribed to repel Djinn. They did the opposite. I'd call the Djinn by their true names. Everything unfolded exactly as I planned. You were stumbling in the dark, drowning in my sorcery." His words echoed in their ears as they stood in total disbelief. How was any of this possible? How had he lived among them without anyone seeing his presence all these months? The answer was even more terrifying. Ibrahim possessed inhuman abilities that let him move unseen among them. He navigated freely, knew their every secret, slipped through the house walls like part of the structure itself, all while controlling their lives and steering them toward a dark fate. The most chilling part was his admission that he no longer needed them. His goal was complete, and the moment he was arrested, the real shock came. He escaped from prison. Some claimed he bewitched the guards, who unlocked the seal without realizing it, as if in a trance. Others said he simply melted into the shadows, vanishing without a trace. But did he truly escape, or was it all rumor? No one knows for sure. What is clear is that this nightmare was far more than just some myth. Ahmed, Ibrahim's brother, shed light on their dark practices. Many people think they're cursed and run to spiritual healers. What they don't realize is most of those healers are just scam artists and sorcerers. They toy with people's minds, pretending to heal them, while actually deepen their suffering. Ahmed confessed confessed, then offered treatments that gave temporary relief while worsening their real problems. I controlled them, made them depend on me. Each time they returned, my power and hold over them grew. Ahmed revealed how they ran this sinister scheme, manipulating people's minds to ensure their submission. What made it all the more horrifying was the realization that Ibrahim had lived among them all these months like a ghost, watching them, controlling their fates, completely undetected. He manipulated their lives, as if they were mere puppets in invisible hands, toying with their destinies effortlessly. Ibrahim has become a symbol of inexplicable terror within the community, perhaps even beyond. The final judgment remains unknown. There is no confirmed information yet on the punishment Ahmed and Ibrahim will face, whether execution or another sentence. However, it's worth noting that in Libya, especially if it results in death or severe harm, could potentially carry the death penalty. Investigations are still open, and whether they have concluded or not remains unclear, leaving the case in a state of suspense and raising endless questions about the defendant's fate. Ultimately, big questions remain unanswered. Was everything happened just rumor and exaggeration? Or do hidden forces like black magic and such can really control people's destinies? I'd love to hear your take on this story. Do you believe some people can control others' lives in this way? Is it possible that magic and manipulation are actually part of our reality? Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Catch you in the next video.